Hello and welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. This week we will be talking about Survivor Season 45, Episode 10. So exciting. Before we get into it, Riley, what have you been up to this week?
What haven't I been up to this week is the real question. Work.
Bus.
School.
Club. Another club.
Sleep. Extracurriculars. I'm literally like the busiest bee. Job interview or internship interviews. A little bit of everything. I'm a little busy boy, but I only have a week left. A week. This time next week, it'll be a Thursday. It will also be reading period.
That's so much fun. Do you
I know,
remember
I'm so excited.
reading period when it was the spring of my senior year and we watched The Circle like all day?
Yeah.
I miss those days.
Girl, I reflect on it so bad. I get nostalgic. 2 years ago, nostalgic. I'm like, oh, I just wish Maddie was here right now. We could just like watch Survivor together in the same room. Nothing will ever top that.
Hashtag I agree. Hashtag the good old days.
Pros, Maddie had a house where we could watch Survivor. Cons, the house did have rats.
Are you talking about my roommates or the real rats?
Maddie, how are you doing this week?
Just kidding.
Talking about you, Anna. Oh.
Yeah. I'm good. I want to retract my statement about having good weather last week because it has been freezing cold in the low 20s, but it's like my phone says it feels like 0 and it was snowing and not great. And now it was in the mid to high 30s today, so now it's all just like muddy and gross. But I'm looking forward. Tomorrow at my work is a big tree lighting ceremony. And I'm so excited. Not to name drop where I work, but the governor will be there. So I'm going to go
Oh my god, girl, not you being famous, girl.
So I've been looking forward to that for...
Maddie's the governor.
The governor will be there. I'm talking in third person.
I did not mean to reveal your secrets, girl. You can edit that out. I'm so sorry. Maddie is the governor.
Yes, I am. Actually, no. I would not want to run for public office.
That can be another podcast.
Or public. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just jump into it. I'm done with this little chit chat. So
You're talking to you like that. That was okay. No, go ahead. Like you had something to say. Like go ahead.
no, you too. If you're gonna have that kind of drama, like, or that kind of attitude, like, you must be thinking something in your head that you're not sharing with the class.
I am thinking about what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight.
I had broccoli cheddar soup. Okay, so this episode opens up and they're coming back from tribal. They're talking about how it's the top 8. Jake, we then hear from Jake, and he's talking about how he's been playing a dead dog for the last 2 votes, but not anymore because he has friends now. But I don't think anything actually changed for him. And has he not been playing a dead dog for like most of the game?
I'm so sorry. It's just the same. I love Jake. It's the same storyline every episode. I'm not gonna do this anymore. This is gonna be my episode, girls. It's never your episode.
No, it's not. Then we hear from Drew, and he's talking about wanting to flush Bruce's idol, so someone else needs to win immunity instead of Bruce, because Bruce won it like twice in a row. So,
I'm so
spoiler alert.
sorry. Not to be ageist, Bruce is old. Why can y'all not beat him? I mean, spoiler alert again. He does end up getting beat, but like, you're telling me he won 2 in a row? Be for real.
Yeah. No, it is surprising. But how dare you for being ageist? So, So then after the intro, they're waking up and Julie's neck hurts. But really, she might be in physical pain. She's also having emotional pain. She starts talking to Drew about how she feels so bad about lying to Kelly and Kendra and voting them out and looking them in their faces after. She doesn't like lying. Couldn't be me. Or Riley.
Whoa, that was crazy. Have you watched the new okay, and I promise this will be relevant. Have you watched the new Squid Games challenge on Netflix?
I've seen a bunch of TikToks about it. No, probably not.
Oh. Okay, well, it's crazy because a lot of the discourse around the show has been that it's bringing a lot of non-reality TV fans to reality television, and at stake is like $4.56 million US dollars. Lots of money, and a lot of course, if you're playing that money, I haven't watched the newest, so I watched up to the episodes that came out Thanksgiving weekend, and then I haven't watched the new episodes that came out like yesterday, I think, so I don't know about that, but I think a lot of the discourse has been a lot of the newer reality TV fans are upset about how much like lying or like the fighting or the deceit or the strategy. And I saw somebody today that was like, you can really tell who is only watching this because it's Squid Game and not because it's reality television. Because I'm like, these are the types of things that we have been asking for years on reality TV. And I think it's interesting because I think this has bled into the show. I guess into the show Survivor. Now we're getting to the point of why I say this is that I feel like somebody like Julie, I guess it's understandable if it's a personal thing, right? Like if you don't lie in your normal life, it's probably going to be hard to lie in a game like this. In my mind, again, Maddie, every episode we say it, we've never been out there, but in my mind, I'm out there. Like, I'm a lie.
Oh, I would be lying left and right. It gives you the permission to do that.
To quote the queen herself, I'm a lie, but I'm gonna make a good lie. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna make up a good lie.
I'm just kidding. What? Bruce later in the episode.
Girl. Anyway, I say all this that I wish Julie. I think again,
she's being too hard on herself.
She's being so hard on herself. I've said this multiple times. The mom archetype has it hard already because the perceptions that are there. But I think it's too hard. Girl, it's Kendra and Kelly. You just met them a couple days ago. I don't think that they had 100% faith in you. And it's not like you were the sole reason they went home.
And let's be honest, it's not like Kendra was going to win anyways. Also, Kelly was a big threat and she needed to be taken out.
You are out of pocket this episode.
Am I wrong? You were throwing
sprays left and right.
Am I wrong?
No, but Kelly's back here, or Kendra's back here going, what the fuck do I got to do with this? What does my win equity have to do with this?
I'm just saying, it happens to people. It's part of the game. Like, lie or get lied to. Lie and get lied to. Like, if everyone else is lying, you might as well be lying too.
And I am sure, actually, you know what? Maybe not Kendra. I feel like Kendra has been on the end of a lot of blindsides this season, so maybe Kendra. But I'm sure Kelly did. I don't know. I can't even think about who's been voted out. You said this earlier, 8 people left. I cannot believe that there's only that many people left.
I know.
But yeah, it's the game, and I wish there was more of like a game versus a reality. Like this isn't real life, Julie.
Yeah, like you're supposed to lie. Or like
you're supposed to lie, bestie.
Yeah. So she's talking to Drew during this conversation, and then Drew starts crying too. There were a lot of tears this episode, all episode. But he starts crying because at some point, the core 4, they're gonna have to start voting each other out. And he's really sad about it.
Clap if you care.
Clap if you think she should
suffer.
All right,
let's move on. What?
Clap if you think she should suffer. Should she suffer?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at the rate, they might not ever have to vote. Because if you think about it, like, the final four is a fire-making challenge. So you don't really have to vote then. And then it's the final three. So at this rate, it's not like DeBellows and Emily are voting against them.
Okay, not to make another Wendy Williams quote. Well, maybe I can't.
Say it.
When she's like, death to all of them. And the audience is like, oh.
Oh, that's not...
Not to get sidetracked, but I'm forever sad that Riley and I can't go to a live taping of Wendy Williams because I feel like we would have the time of our lives.
No one opens the door for a native New Yorker. I've been trying. I'm not even joking. The past couple of days, my little doodle, because I go through phases, my doodle has recently been the lips. Doing the lips, and then the little slit for where she had her face, and then the arms with the microphone. Oh.
Doodle peep. Anyways.
Get Wendy Williams on this podcast. Wendy Williams and Tiffany Seeley.
Two New Yorkers.
Team New Yorkers!
Do you think they know each other? No, we gotta move on. Okay. Then Emily, Katurah, and Bruce are talking about the Reba 4, and they're like, who do we need to target? Who's the one making the big decisions in this alliance? And then we get a confessional from Emily where she's talking about how Bruce is only interested in himself, which has been true this entire game. His, imaginary game. Everyone notices it, which we'll get to it later, but yes, everyone recognizes he's not playing a good game and he's playing for himself the entire time. I don't understand some of the strategy behind him getting voted out this episode, but we can talk about it later.
I feel like this is just like a reoccurring theme this season that nobody is making changes for themselves to like better themselves in the game, if that makes sense. The only person who did it and did it well was Emily.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Jake is just sitting in the same boat. I feel like Bruce was sitting in the same boat. Like, Bruce was not actively trying to better himself with the game.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. It's hard to watch. But Emily did it great. I don't know. Emily might be... I saw friend of the pod, Stephen Fishback, I think he tweeted that Emily's sort of like right in the plane... plane vision? Point of view? Right in the plane of sight? What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Right in when it's right in front of your face. Is there a word for that? Or is that what I should have said the whole time?
I don't know.
Well, she's like in front of your face winner. Like, she might just win because it's kind of like her story,
like, you know? The obvious?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. No, I agree.
Maybe.
She should win. Team Emily. The greatest switch up of all time. So then we get to talking with... Oh my god, why are my words so bad this episode? So then we see Bruce and Katurah talking, and Bruce decides he's gonna construct a lie. So he tells Katurah that he gave Kelly his idol because he was worried about the knowledge is power advantage, and it got voted out with it in her pocket. And then she's like, oh. And then he goes, did you believe my acting? And she's like, why? What? Yeah, it's so believable. And then she's making fun of him, all of that. And yeah, he's not good at lying. He's not a good actor.
No, he's not. And I think even later when they're at like the sanctuary and Katurah's telling the girls, and Dee's like, that's stupid. If he was going to do that, he should have done it like 2 days ago when Kelly got voted out.
Exactly. Not all of a sudden. No, he's been marinating on it. But then Bruce does tell Jake his lie because he knows Jake can't keep his big mouth shut. And he's right.
His busted mouth.
And he's right. Jake does end up telling Drew later. That was a good person. If you're going to tell anyone, tell Jake. Sorry,
Jake's
Jake.
just like one of the girls. Like, Jake just wants to gab and like He
Yeah,
just wants to spill the
Goss.
tea and
Yeah.
goss. Yes.
No, I relate. So then quickly we jump into the reward challenge. So this challenge, they are racing through obstacles to get a ball, and then they have to get the ball on this like balance rolly maze thing where the ball can drop through holes. And the reward is a Thanksgiving dinner, and they get to spend the night at the sanctuary. What an upgrade from last week.
Such a big upgrade. We have an actual bird this time. Um,
Yeah.
I wonder if this episode was supposed to come out last week. Like, I'm like,
That's what
the
I was
timing would have been
thinking.
so perfect, but I wonder if maybe they had to push it back for something. I don't know. I think what the writer, I almost said the writer strike, probably messed up some stuff. But that being said, what a great reward. Jeff kept reiterating that this was the reward of the season, and I mean, I haven't seen the last couple episodes, but I feel like this is going to be the one to beat.
I mean, the other ones weren't that hard to beat. So I don't. It may be the reward of the season, but that isn't saying much.
True, you're so right, bestie.
So basically it's like pretty even through the challenge. But then it really comes down to Emily and Austin at the little ball maze thing. And Emily wins. She's
Gag.
shaking, crying, throwing up. Everyone's hugging her and
True, true.
cheering for her. And so then Jeff explains that she gets to pick one person to go to the sanctuary with her. She chooses Katura. Then hold up.
Did she choose Julie first?
No. Oh, maybe it was. No, it was Julie. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
She she picks Julie. Oh, we'll get to this other part in a second. Then it's a second person that she gets to pick. She picks Katura. Then, just when you thought it was over, Jeff says, "Girl, you get to pick one more."
Girl, pick one more, girl.
She picks D, and she says, "Let's make it a ladies' night." But one of the biggest things at this reward that I didn't mention earlier is they get their letters from home. And so it's a very emotional choice. Basically, most people there are crying. We see Drew cry for the second time this episode. But
Be a man.
ultimately,
Men don't cry.
no, you're right. I'm pretty sure you've cried
Sorry,
on this
I just hit the
podcast.
serve. Me?
Yeah.
I never said I was a man.
I'm just a teenage girl.
I'm just a teenage girl who does girl things.
Anyways, so it's a ladies' night, and the boys get to go on their camping night, is what they said.
Okay. Let me break down a couple thoughts here. Number one. Oh. What was number one? Number one, I think I don't know, I'll just say the first thing. Number one was the fact that it was so shady that Jeff really was gonna dig in. He was like, family letters, you're taking away somebody's family letters. I don't think in the new era, because I know they've definitely done this in the past Survivor where Jeff is like, you win family. In the past, in this new era, I don't think they've been telling people pre the reward that there's going to be letters from family. I think it's just like a reward happens later in the season, and it just happens. They're like surprised with letters from the family,
Mhm.
which is so different. And I was telling my roommate slash friend Kellen that I would never personally want to win this. This would be the one challenge of the whole season I would not want to win. I don't believe in throwing challenges. This is the challenge I would throw, because you don't pick somebody for a family, for family visit, or for a card or whatever, and suddenly their vendetta is against you and you only. They're gonna say, Emily, this is your fault, and Emily, we're gonna get you out. So I think they were shady for making Emily do that. I think Emily did not pick the right people.
Mm-mm.
I think, okay, if you're going down the line, if you're doing Julie and Katora, I think Jake was the
Next. Yeah.
next option, the
Why
only
would
next
you pick
option.
two of the people in the core four alliance? You need to be
Makes no
swaying
sense.
one. You just need one of them to like
Yeah.
break it open. Julie would have been perfect. Yeah, I was not happy that she picked D.
I felt like it was making sense. I was like, okay, you got Katora, okay, you got Julie, okay, now all you need is Jake. I wouldn't have
Or
picked
Bruce.
Bruce. I don't want
No, I'm
I
kidding.
don't I don't want to fuel Bruce up because I don't need him winning another challenge. Also, Bruce is a loose cannon. Also, Bruce is probably not going to eat any of the food. So, F
Mhm.
Bruce. I would have picked Jake. It still would
Mhm.
have been a girls' night if Jake was there.
And Jake, like, he so desperately wants to be included in things.
It's so obvious
He's
too.
such an
Like I feel
easy
like
vote.
he is, and I
Like,
feel like
vote
he could not
swing to
make it.
get him.
Yes,
Not to vote him out. That
I
too,
feel like
though.
he.
Sorry.
I, I feel like he's making it so obvious, like he wants to be in it. Get him on your side, Emily. That would have been the perfect group. Bruce would have done what? Well, I don't know if he would have done whatever, but
He would do
that could have
whatever
been a
keeps
good.
him in the game.
Mm,
I guess you just have to make him feel comfortable and he'll do whatever.
you just, I don't know. It was a missed opportunity.
It was. Yeah. I guess maybe she didn't want D on her bad side because D, like, picks one person and focuses on getting them out for some reason.
Okay, and I still have the numbers to get your ass out. So then what, D?
No, I agree with you. I'm sad she didn't pick Jake. Also, Jake would have been fun at that.
I think Jake would have been fun too.
So, anyways, so the girls get to the sanctuary, and Emily is just like talking about her game and everything, getting a little emotional. And the girls are like, "No, you underestimate yourself. You are such a force to be reckoned with." Just building her up. Then they start talking about how they're all manifesting a female winner. Emily says that the vibes are great. I love her trying to like connect with people. It's so funny to me.
Yo, the vibes are great. Ew.
And then Katura, this is when she starts talking about Bruce's half-brained plan for his idol lie. Then we go to the boys' camp. Immediately talking about farts. Quick trigger warning, Drew does take his shirt off and start flexing. And really we just get a montage of boys doing boy stuff. It's giving Ken's in the Barbie movie.
It is giving kids in the Barbie movie. This is a weird editing season. They are trying all new things this season with editing stuff. Well, I don't think there's ever been a compilation in Survivor like this before, and I don't think they've ever had licensed music like this before.
Mm-hmm.
Very strange. It was weird. The edit was weird.
It was so weird.
It's just like none of these men left in the game do I get like manly men vibes from.
No, maybe
so
that's like the joke.
Maybe, yeah. It was really strange. I was like, the choices are interesting.
Yeah. Some of my favorite parts, I don't know if you remember this, but there's a clip of Jake walking down the beach in flippers and like his snorkel, I think, and he's just walking so funny. And then Drew says that he's never broed out before. I said, shocker. Yeah, it's just a really funny, weird little part of this episode. And then Bruce starts talking to Jake about wanting to get D out, but Jake really isn't into that idea, but he believes Bruce's idol lie and then tells Drew, and then just as Bruce predicted he would, and I said, dumb boys. Because then
You're just a dumb boy.
Drew's like, no way, that's crazy. Maybe Jake's the good actor. And he doesn't even know he's acting.
I'm like, the girls were like, "That is so stupid. Who's gonna believe that?" And then the boys are all like, "Oh my god! Shut the fuck up!" They're like, "Oh my god!" And the girls are like, "Literally, how did he think that would work?" Like, literally, my favorite. They get back to the island, and who was it? I don't even remember. It was like Drew or something, or Austin maybe. One of them was like, he has an idol, and Emily was like, "No, they don't. It's fake." Somebody, one of the girls was like, It's not real. It's not true."
Yeah.
Girl, get it together. Get a grip with reality.
Yeah. So then we go back to the sanctuary, and the girls are opening their family letters. Lots of heartfelt moments. We have Emily talking about loving her little boyfriend, which was funny, and just like, oh, she just bought a house, good for her. Financial.
I have a boyfriend.
Do you?
No. Well, I do. He just goes to a different school. You wouldn't know him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say he was in Fiji. His name's Caleb.
He lives at this place called Ponderosa.
He lives there like forever.
Full time now.
And then this was a weird moment I've seen people talking about online.
Yeah.
So they're opening their family letters, and Katurah gets a letter from her mom, and she says that she cut off contact with her like over a year earlier. And people were like, so why did she get a letter from her? Who let that happen? Like, did the production just not know about this?
There is no way the production did not know about this.
Yeah.
It's shady. The producers were shady this episode. This was shady. There's no way that in the whole casting process, in a single confessional, that a production member, a storyboard editor, a casting director was like, "So what's your relationship with your family?"
Exactly.
And it wouldn't have come up, and Katurah would have said, "Oh, I don't really have a relationship with my mom." Even just saying that, I would have been like, "Okay, let's not go to the mom about this."
Yeah.
That was shady.
Yeah. And I feel bad because it seems to have rattled her the rest of the episode, as we'll talk about later. That was not cool of them. They probably don't want to feed into it, but I want to know what happened there. I don't feel like it's fair to her.
Yeah. I don't think it is either. I think it's really messed up, and like you could tell the vibes were off after that.
Yeah. So then Julie shares about her life a little bit and getting divorced and building her life back up. And
boring.
You and 50% of every Americans. I was gonna 50% of marriages end in divorce or whatever.
No, literally, I'm like, if you're not a child of divorce in the 21st century, are you even living?
I'm living quite well, thank you.
And I am too.
I love my parents.
I love my parents too. They're just not, they don't love each other. And that's okay.
That is okay.
That could be another podcast. We can get into that later.
One child of divorce, one not child of divorce. Have a conversation. And then Dee reads a letter from her dad, and that kind of summarizes the letters. So then the girls go back to camp after spending the night and all of that and the dinner. And they're talking with the boys, and Emily it was Drew. It was Drew who was like, "Oh my God, you'll never believe it." And then Emily's like, "No, that's a lie." And then they talk about voting for Bruce and Jake.
No, that's a lie.
Yeah, she was like,
"You're funny."
She's like, "No." They start talking about voting for Bruce and Jake. So if Bruce plays idol, Jake goes home. Still, why Jake? Honestly, why Bruce? I really liked a lot of this episode, but like at the core, I don't like the strategy going on. So like I think that just takes a lot away from it for me.
Yeah.
Then Jake is mad at Drew because Drew is turning on him. So he starts pitching the idea to Julie and Emily that I think that Drew needs to go home, but they're like, no. um, and then Drew, oh my god, this is one of my favorite parts of the episode. Speaking of watching people argue, Drew talks to Jake, and Drew's like, why would you want to vote for me? You have no allies. I'm the only one that's nice to you. And then they start arguing. And I loved it.
Ooh, come on, white boys. Yes.
I love when Jake was like, this conversation is over. And Drew's like, why do you just get to decide when the conversation is over?
Like, it makes no sense. It kind of just came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, not the girls fighting on the beach right now.
I know,
like,
and then it
what?
kept going.
It did. I was like, this is strange. And don't get me wrong, I love a reality TV fight, but I was like, this is weird.
It was funny.
Like, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get, but...
They're just such interesting people to be arguing with each other.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you guys arguing over? Like, Pokemon? Like... basketball? Like, I don't...
Also, the confessional when Drew was, like, making fun of Jake's accent. I know they're all making fun of it behind his back. We just aren't getting clips of it.
We're doing it to his face. I know Jake watches every single episode. He told me.
Yeah.
He did.
So, moving on from that, we get to the immunity challenge. And I love the water setting. I love when they're out on the water. And it's like, do you disagree?
No, I do. I was thinking about, because I think this challenge has only been done once before.
Mm-hmm.
In the original Fiji season, I believe. Which is exciting. It's one of those simple challenges that I think is interesting. I don't like, we've again said this multiple times, I don't like the endurance challenges in the post-merge game. Like, every single challenge has been an endurance challenge, and I'm like, go.
I kind of thought this one was interesting though. Like, I didn't think it was as bad.
I agree. I like that it was a different endurance challenge. This isn't something we've seen multiple seasons in a row. I liked that it was a different take on endurance. I liked it compared to the other challenges they normally do.
Yes.
But my point still stands. It's either an endurance challenge or an obstacle course.
Yeah.
So, that's that.
Sometimes both. Like last episode.
You're so true, so true.
So just to kind of explain the challenge really quick. So it's set up where they're like lying on this really steep plank and holding onto these little handholds. And over time they move to smaller handholds. In the beginning, they're like able to put their feet up and kind of like use that to hold them up. But then the longer the challenge went on, Jeff was like, no, you have to lie straight. And that made me laugh because it looked like they're all like sunbathing on these sports. So that was entertaining. But kind of the biggest moment of this challenge is Katurah. She starts like panicking about being on the water. And she's like, I'm scared to fall in. Like, and Jeff's like, okay, we can have people in the water like ready to catch you. Like, you're going to be totally fine. And then he's like, well, you could just, like, quit and, like, scooch off to the side and not have to be in the water. And she's just really going through it in this moment. And she ends up quitting. And I just thought it was interesting because, like, we haven't seen her have this fear of the water before. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was just, like, not little, but, like, sort of a panic attack. I think she's probably going through a lot right now. It's getting to a stressful point in the game. And not that the game isn't stressful the entire time, but like particularly stressful. And then maybe with her family, letter from her mom, it was just like, I don't know, a bit. She's going through it.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. I felt really bad for her. Not like I didn't pity her, I just felt bad that she got put into that situation. I feel like it was a lot of outside controllable factors that affected this like response. So I feel bad that she was the person that affected. I don't feel bad that she felt emotions.
Yeah.
I what am I gonna say? No, that's it. That's a thought. I feel bad for her. I'm glad that there was support for her. I'm glad Jeff supported her a little bit in that. I hated that little thing at the end of the challenge where he was like, "We can wait. You can jump in the water." Blah blah. I'm like, girl, just let her go back
get
to
her
the
in the
island.
boat. Yeah.
Girl, just get her in the boat. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the end, Austin wins immunity. Not
I thought it
Bruce.
was interesting. I'm not related to Austin. I liked Jake's strategy in this challenge. Maybe he'll appear in like a per diem video. He like put his tank top up, and so his back was against the thing. And I'm like, I bet you his like sweaty back is probably sticking him to that.
Yeah, I agree. That
That
was
was
super
smart.
smart.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer. He's a smart guy. He's a
Come
smart
on,
guy.
lawyer. He's a smart guy. Come on, lawyer. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do a Boston accent.
I don't either. So then they go back to camp, and Bruce is like, I'm going to play my idol. No, he doesn't. He's so dramatic.
Oh my god, get this man an Oscar award.
So then Katara's talking to Emily about voting Julie out instead of Jake, and she talks about how everyone loves her, and even she would vote to give her $1,000,000 in the end. So she needs to go. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. And then Emily has her little sassy lying moment, and she goes up to Bruce and is like, I hate to break it to you. Not to like rub salt in the Kelly wound, but Julie's working against you.
They're so funny. Emily just be saying shit.
I love it. She's so
Emily was a
funny.
really good casting choice. Like, oh, she's just like a little gem. I love her.
I love it because we've gotten her being a little pot stirrer, her
Yes.
causing all this drama, and now, but like as the bad guy, as the villain, and now she's like everyone loves her, and she's still causing drama.
Yes.
I love it. So then Bruce then tells Jake to vote Julie out. And then Jake is like, Bruce is lying. And then he starts crying because he's like, I don't know who to trust. It feels like everyone's lying to me, and I'm just having to play everyone else's plans to survive. Katara walks up to him and she's like, it's okay. And Bruce goes full dad and is like, no, buddy, you're good. You're a smart guy.
Girl, if you don't leave me, I would have been like, Bruce, I need you to do about 10 steps back. You're the reason. You're the problem right now.
You're a bit overbearing.
You're a little bit overbearing. I need you to take a step back, please, and thank you.
Yeah. So, do we have any more comments before we get into tribal?
I don't think so.
This is kind
I
of
just
a weird episode.
It was a weird. The editing is weird. I don't know why. I was gonna say this earlier in our this recording, but I think it's strange where I feel like they're doing a majority of the game talk edit before the reward challenge actually happens. I feel like they
Yeah.
did it a lot this episode and they did a lot last episode too, where a lot of the strategies forming pre-reward challenge and then the reward challenge happens and then it kind of goes like mysterious, like it's like what we're seeing of people is like generic things. They're like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I should do this, I don't know if I should do that. It's nothing really finalized, so then we're kind of, so I feel like they're trying to leave us in suspense as we go into tribal, but it makes it hard because by the time I mean, I take notes for half of the episode, so I feel like I'm able to follow along. But like for like this episode, I didn't take notes, and so by the time we got to the tribal, I was like, "What is gonna happen?" Which I guess is probably what they want, but it's a little frustrating to have to be like, "Okay, wait, bubble, like what's the way this is gonna go?" I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I guess kind of going into tribal, they're kind of trying to make us think that it's going to be Julie.
Yeah, I felt like that pretty early on. I think it was the I think what didn't help was the spike in her coverage this episode. Out of nowhere, we kind of got a lot of Julie content, and I was like, "Ooh, this is not looking good." And
Mhm.
then they were like actively like, "We should vote Julie out," and I was like, "Oh, girl, I don't know."
Yeah. So they start off tribal by talking about how there's a different energy this tribal. And
Energy, look around, everybody on mute.
I don't know.
Look around, that's me and my crew. Hey,
Yes.
energy. Yeah.
um I think it's Emily that's like, Bruce doesn't have immunity this tribal. That's what's different. And then Jake talks about being insecure. Again.
You're insecure. Don't know what for. Me to Jake. Because Jake is just like a pretty girl.
Yeah. What's the next line? Turning heads when you walk through that door.
Yes!
Then
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm reliving the day that the day that Total Drama. What? One Direction ended. I think I was at our high school the day they ended. I can't remember what do you remember that happening?
No.
There was a girl who went to high school with us who loved One Direction, and I remember her being very sad the day it happened.
I'm sure a lot of people were. I wasn't a big One Direction fan.
Me either.
I like Harry Styles.
British people scare me. Hello, lovely.
Guys,
it's right behind me, isn't he?
that's one of my favorite videos. No, the little girl who like farts.
Guys, what was that? Guys, I'm scared. I don't know what that was.
Yeah. My favorite unsolved case. Anyways, then Jeff straight up asked Julie, he goes, "Would you be surprised if you got voted out tonight?"
I hate when he does shit like that. If you don't just keep your mouth shut.
I know. I was like, I hope that everyone got asked that question and it wasn't just like, Julie,
come on, Jolie.
Yeah. Would you be surprised if you got voted out tonight? And she's like, yeah, I would be.
Like, Jeffrey, why are you asking me that?
They're really just trying to make us think it's going to be her. This whole tribal. So then we get to the voting. And Bruce decides to not play his idol. He's comfy. He doesn't feel like he needs to play it. But he immediately gets voted out. Not immediately, but he gets voted out. With the idol in his pocket.
Everybody was like, Bruce, do it.
I know. And then like, Emily puts her hand on his shoulder. And like, she's like, sorry.
Why did they vote Bruce out?
Okay, yeah, I want to get in. This is what I feel like we should spend some time on. Because I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Why? Okay, what I was like half paying attention at the end of the episode. Do you know who voted for who? By chance?
It was
I can look it up.
A couple Jake. Bruce voted for Julie, and then everyone else, like, they split it, so a couple were on Jake, yes, because in case Bruce played his idol, Bruce voted Julie, everyone else voted Bruce, is what happened.
Okay, let me look real quick. Fuck. Oops, sorry. Frick. Okay, Jake was... Okay, yeah, the three Jakes were... Austin, D, and Drew.
Yeah, it wasn't
and Bruce voted for Julie. So then
it was a pretty unanimous.
Emily, Jake, Julie, and Katurah voted Bruce out. Why?
Okay, yeah. This is what I want to get into. Why would you vote Bruce out? No one likes him. Every single person on that beach recognizes that Bruce is not playing the game of Survivor. He's in his own La La
Land.
We're on the same wavelength.
Wow, that was weird.
That was crazy.
That was the first time Maddie and I hung out. We went and saw La La Land together.
Oh my God. It was. That was so fun.
Different era.
Different era, I know. Anyways. More lore on us. Yeah. It makes no sense to me to vote Bruce out. They should have voted Julie. As much as I want Julie, like, I'm a Julie fan, I'm a Julie supporter, she is such a big threat. I mean, Katurah literally says it this episode. Yeah, I would vote for her if she was in the end. Like, what were either Bruce or Jake gonna have against any of the rest of them? Except maybe Katurah.
I truly don't know. I'm really confused. I feel like devil's advocate, the one thing I could see being the problem is people being like, I don't like, people being like, Bruce is a loose cannon. He can do whatever he wants. He could comp out until the end of the season. He could win every challenge. He could XYZ. He's not, if he comes out to the end, he is not, I mean, I don't know. This jury is not. Kelly is not going to reward Bruce. Caleb is definitely not going to reward Bruce. Kendra is not going to reward Bruce. That's 3 people there. They're going to have, those 3 people are going to be the people who have the most influence on the jury. Like, there's just no way in my mind, even if Bruce comps out to the end, there's no way that I feel like he would win.
With the people left in the game, who would vote for Bruce? Name one person other than, like, maybe Jake. None.
Let's ask the audience.
Let's ask the audience. Bruce was not a threat. So, oh my God. Then we'll get into my other problem. There was no exciting Katurah Bruce drama blow up. That was her whole story arc. Her entire arc. All we know about her, she hates Bruce and she doesn't talk to her mom.
They set up the way they set it up was going to lead to one of the best, like, I wanted their tribal to have drama. I wanted their tribal to have blood.
I wanted them to fight on the beach.
I wanted a fight. I wanted something to happen that was going to be, like, defining. Literally, nothing.
Nothing.
If anything, it was the wrong choice. If anything, she should have kept Bruce in.
Yeah.
This was not the time to get rid of him. I'm upset about it. And then I'm like, okay, then what was the point? Because really, if you think about it, we haven't really gotten any Bruce versus Katurah content in a couple weeks.
At all.
These 2 at all. I don't think we got any last week. So this episode, last episode, and maybe the episode before, I think the last time it was really, really was when they swapped onto 2, I don't even know, but it was a couple episodes ago. So really, I'm like, what was all of this pre-merge beef about? Because Bella didn't even, like, go to tribal at all. It would have been different if Bella went to pre-merge tribals, but none of the Bellas went home until they swapped.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even then, they weren't even being voted off of the tribe that Bruce and Katurah were on post-swap. It was Brando who was on the Reba tribe? I don't even remember, but still, I'm like, what a confusing edit.
It's really upsetting.
Unless it's going to come back, unless something's going to happen, like Katurah gets to the end and Bruce is, like, roasting Katurah on the jury, maybe. But still then, I'm like, that's not even justified.
No, it's not at all. No, I was really mad about it. Like, it was just so anticlimactic. And it was such a big part of the early season. And for a lot of the season, to be honest.
A lot, yeah.
If I were Katurah, I would be so mad at my edit if all they left in was, like, me complaining about Bruce every 30 seconds, every single time she's on screen, every single confessional, just for nothing to come of it. You can't tell me she wasn't doing anything else. Anything.
That, and you can't tell me that there was no else actively complaining about Bruce as much as she was complaining about Bruce. Like, we saw Kelly complaining about Bruce. We saw all these people complaining about Bruce. You're telling me the only person who content you could use was Katora's, and now that's all we know about her is that she doesn't like Bruce, and now it doesn't even matter because Bruce isn't even in the game anymore.
Yeah.
Girl, bye.
Bored, girl. Boring.
Me, when my name is Sabaya and somebody asks me what the middle syllable of my name is, bye. Girl, bye.
Girl, bye. Yeah. I am just upset. I'm frustrated.
I'm Riley. I didn't like... No, they should... I am a big Julie fan. I've said this again. I love my favorite phrase. We need to get this on merch. I've said this multiple times. I love a mom archetype. I love an evil mom archetype.
You can handle the merch.
I
That
can...
could be your job. I don't have time.
Okay, guys, you have to promise. You guys have to promise to buy the merch. If I make it, you have to promise. Put your addresses in the comments.
We'll put our Venmo in. We'll put Riley's Venmo on it.
My Venmo, the shirts are going to be $50.
Yeah.
So send me $75 for tax and shipping.
And if you're lucky, Riley will give it a little kiss before he ships it off.
I did not like... I don't know. I love Julie. I wish she went home. I think that would have been so good. I agree with you. Yes. Sorry, you did say that. I agree with you. It would have been so good. I need the Reba 4 shook up. I don't even like the Reba 4 that much. Like, they're not very likable.
No, they're not likable.
Which makes it sad, because, like, I feel like everybody else... Like, it's not like I hate... Like, it's not, like, unwatchable. Like, I'm not, like, I can't... If one of them wins, I won't be happy. Like, I can understand why they win, and I feel like I could be happy with them winning, minus Drew. But, like, I'm like, it would have been such a good shake-up. A good shake-up. Ow.
It's upsetting that they're not... Like... None of them are willing to make big moves for their own game.
And you know what? Next episode, all of them are going to say it. This is going to be the episode I'm going to make a big move.
Literally, like, I feel like Julie has been off and on talking about this for past multiple weeks.
Jake has too.
Oh my god, Jake.
Jake and Julie have both been wanting to make big moves, and this was the time to do it, and neither of them did it. Katora, I guess, has been wanting to separate herself from Bruce, so I guess, but, like, still...
Well, she hasn't been connected to Bruce. She should have used him as a tool to get out the actual big players in the game. I feel like, specifically, Katora was so hung up on Bruce being this person that she hates for the entire season that she can't look and see the gameplay, and that he has zero strategy.
Especially when it is obvious Bruce out of nowhere started trusting Katora. Like, why?
He was desperate.
Katora, he was desperate, but I would have used that desperatity. The way that he went up to her and was like, okay, this is my plan, and this is the lie I'm gonna make. I would have been like, okay, he definitely trusts me, because there's no way. Like, if he didn't trust me, why the fuck would he tell me this? I would have went to church with that. I would have been like, okay.
She could have
put him in his back pocket. The storyline that you can construct for yourself at the end of the season. She's sitting in front of Tribal Council. So sorry, Bruce. Hated Bruce. But then I realized that Bruce was the perfect number for me to manipulate in this game. I knew I would, after Kelly got voted out, I knew I would have him in my back pocket. So that's how I used him. Kept him in the back pocket, and I used him as a number, and it got me here.
Mm-hmm.
8. I would have ate that up sitting on that jury. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I would love... I feel like I just wanted to see someone use Bruce and Jake for good. Like, they are numbers.
They're puppies!
They may be not playing a good game on their own, but, like, use them to your advantage. They just want to be... Like, Jake just wants to be heard. He wants to be loved. Like, I just don't feel like it's that hard to.
I just don't think
have
we
like
listen
a
to white.
working.
I don't think we listen to men enough, and I don't think we listen to white men enough specifically.
Specifically, yeah.
I am a white man advocate.
I'm glad they have someone in their corner fighting for them.
If you guys want white men advocate shirts, my Venmo's down below. Specify if you want white men advocate or merch shirts. I'll get those out. I'll get those out soon.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think I have any more thoughts.
I think that's it for me too. I think it was just a silly. I find it hard to believe that Ariba is not going to win this game at this point, unless Julie jumps ship next week.
Please.
Please,
Please.
grab my hands. Grab my hands. Please.
You're gonna start a prayer.
What is it? God. What are the three? The big three.
The Father,
God,
the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
The Father, the Son, and to Tiffany Seeley. Please, God.
Oh my God.
Please, God.
I guess we're speaking in tongues.
Please, God.
Please,
Let
God.
Julie jump ship next week, please.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were way too excited to get Bruce out. That's my final comment. They thought they really did something there.
Yeah. Final comment. 8.
Okay, I guess like that. Well, my final comments of the episode. Then I'll have to wrap up. Well, that was episode 10 of Survivor 45. They are down to 7 people left. Yeah. Yeah. We'll be back again next week to talk about episode 11 of Survivor 45. See how this all starts wrapping up. It is coming to a close. Yeah. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for all of our social media content. And like and subscribe to the Making Fire Podcast YouTube channel. Sorry we couldn't be in any of your Spotify Wrapped. Maybe next year.
We're working on it.
We're working on
it, team. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Smooches!
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.